Greetings, friends. I'm sorry I can't be in Bologna with you, walking around all the booths, seeing the splendid books, and having a chance to talk with people who are passionate about them. My name is Lee Tarina, and I'm the lead librarian of the IBI Collection for Young People with Disabilities. We're located in the Children's Department of the North York Central Library, which is a part of the Toronto Public Library System in Toronto, Canada. Now, I'm proud to introduce the annotated print catalog for the 2023 IBI selection of outstanding books for young people with disabilities. I'm going to talk about the categories and highlight some of the examples for you. Now, right away, I have to thank all of the IBI national sections who sent us their best examples of books for and about disabled children and teens. Our appreciation also goes to the publishers who provided copies for review and additional copies of the outstanding books, which will go on tour right after Bologna. A final note of thanks go to the Toronto Public Library staff and volunteers, as well as the IBI Secretariat staff. We could not have done this without all of you. We all know that this is an important project because we believe that all young people have a right to read in an accessible format and to see themselves represented in stories, whether they are disabled or not. Our work is changing publishing around the world, as well as the individual lives of our young readers. So what was special about this year? First off, we changed the categories from 3 to 2. Category 1, accessible books, include Braille, sign language, picture communication symbols, and easy-to-read books, all formats which can help a child or a teen read independently. New to this category are the easy-to-read books for young people who are neurodivergent or have developmental and learning disabilities. These readers should have access to simplified books with content appropriate to their age and maturity level. Category 2, Portraits of Disability, is the larger group and provides examples of respectful representations of disabilities. Here are the books in Category 1. Let's see some of these exciting examples. I was intrigued by the tactile elements in Go Away Monster from Chile. This is a book for preschoolers about facing fears and how to manage them. The boy in this book envisions his anxiety as a blue monster that whispers fears and worries in his ear. For children who are blind or have vision loss, this book is in large print and Braille with brightly colored images. I'm hoping that you can see the tactile illustration is on a clear plastic sheet covering the colored illustration. But the brilliant innovation about this book is that they use different heights in the plastic overlay. For example, your fingers can feel where the boy's shirt sleeve ends and his arm starts. I have seldom seen this used in tactile illustrations. Our blind readers were very excited by this innovation. Another example in this category is Nicholas Cooks Without Fire. This version is in Galician language and SPC pictograms for readers who may be neurodivergent or are learning to read simple text. The cookbook is simple and safe, and it includes some nifty recipes such as canapes and truffles, and they're all made without using an oven. Like several other outstanding books this year, it was the product of a collaboration between Association BATA, a group that supports children with autism spectrum disorders, and Calandraca Publishing House. My final example in this amazing category is Playing in the City Park, a book from Indonesia about children who are deaf. It's the story of a deaf girl who goes off to play in the park. She meets a boy who hears but cannot sign. There is one simple sign in Bisson-Do sign language and gestures that's demonstrated by the little girl on each page along with the printed text. This makes the book an excellent one to be shared by deaf and hearing children alike. At the end of the book, using a QR code, the reader can see a video of a man demonstrating the signs on each page. QR codes were used by several submissions this year to offer additional information. This is a great innovation. Now here are the books in Category 2. In the time that I have been working with the IBI collection, representation of people with disabilities has changed for the better. For instance, many of the illustrations in picture books from all over the world include people with visible disabilities. Consequently, one sees a lot of wheelchairs or mobility devices, but not so many teens or children with OCD or children with developmental disabilities or Down syndrome. What Happened to You is an example of a boy with limb difference, or rather, a pirate who is playing his favorite game of sharks and crocodiles. They are a lot easier to deal with than the children on the playground who are constantly asking him, "What happened to your leg?" So check out the excellent author's note from James Catchpole, who advises how to deal with children's curiosity when they see someone who is different from them. This is going to be a classic. The 2023 selection reflects a movement within society to expand the definition of disability. Here at the IBI collection, we have shifted from the medical model of diagnoses to a more social model of viewing how people's lives are affected. In choosing these books, we hope to encourage a more inclusive understanding of disability. Not only is the definition of disability changing, but the terminology is shifting all over the world. One book which demonstrates this progression is Once Upon a Time, There Was a Difference. Archaeologists tell the story of disability. This is the first time I have seen a book which documents the history of people with disabilities and how they were treated, from the Neanderthals to present day. A phenomenal book from France. It's packed with little-known facts, researched and written by the National Institute for Preventative Archaeological Research. It is definitely not a dry and dusty book. Many of the novels in our selection are moving from just talking about the character's disability experience to involving them in genres where the disability is a part of their life, but not their whole life. For instance, we have a great batch of thrillers this year. Rescue Plan from Spain. The children in a special education classroom have to go into lockdown at their school. The teacher runs out into the hall to find out what's happening and leaves the kids. But oh ho, they are the ones who plan and carry out a rescue. A book with a great deal of humor and realistic middle grade dialogue. The Tunnel from the Netherlands. Ella and her family are hiding in the London subway tunnels to escape from the bombs in World War II. However, tunnels bring flashbacks to Ella, who spent the previous year in an iron lung due to polio. She also limps and has little self-confidence. This does not stop her from joining in with 3 other teens who are all trying to survive. It's a suspenseful story and quite cinematic. Monster in Dunkeln is from Switzerland. Now imagine this. You are a blind teen. You're staying alone for the first time while your parents are away. You're on a bus and accidentally you pick up the wrong bag, a bag full of stolen diamonds. Will you be able to outwit the thief who follows you home? The last book is Charlie Tangaroora and the Creature from the Sea from New Zealand. It's about a boy of Maori ancestry who is battling climate change and environmental disasters there. Mix in a mermaid, a battle between the Maori gods, and Charlie's ability to use his prosthetic leg to good advantage. and you have the ingredients of a fast-paced fantasy. Goodness, there's so many more fabulous books in this selection. If you're at the book fair, please visit the IBI booth to see the books and to pick up a catalog. If you cannot go there, go online at the Secretariat website, www.iby.org, and that's IBBY, or to the Toronto Public Library website at www.tpl.ca/IBI. There, when you're at those websites, you can download our annotated IBI catalog for this year and all previous years. Here's a photo of our IBI wall in Toronto. If you would like to visit the collection in person, and I hope you will, please email me at iby@tpl.ca ahead of time. We'd also be happy to answer reference questions or assist in your research by email. If you're interested in having the touring books visit you in your country, please contact the IBI Secretariat for details on how to make that happen. Thank you for helping us to make sure that everyone has access to the books. Ciao!